His MVP. Goal swung, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field, way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's the Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, late night edition, coming at you in the top of the seventh inning. The game's unraveled a little bit. I think that's putting it lightly. Wyatt Langford going to make some hard contact here, but we are going to get a fly out to right field. Campero makes the catch on the run. Wyatt inches away from an inning-saving catch, man. I think he did just about all he could. Tried to keep the ball in front. That's something he's got to work on. I mean, look, if he's not able to get to that ball, I probably don't think a whole lot of other Rangers will with his speed. It's unfortunate. Jon Gray, not his best night. I know the defense was a little bit shoddy, but I don't think we can excuse Jon Gray fully. And there were multiple base knocks, walks. Just was not a sharp inning from him. Was not a sharp inning from Jon Gray. Defense definitely has been interesting in this whole series so far. Going back to last night, coming into today's game, the Rangers have kicked the ball around multiple times. Zeke Duran with an error. Also had a nice play, almost a great play, honestly, by the Angels shortstop, Zach Neto there. Marcus Simeon's going to reach here. Look, Zeke Duran making up for it with the bat a little bit, but he had an error. We had a number of different errors and whatnot really throughout the game on each side. But here we are, 7-4. We're going to try and give y'all the best breakdown we can. I got a few things to lead off with. Of course, I'm going to be checking your comments along the way. I know a lot of people are upset by what they're seeing right now. I don't blame you. Adolis Garcia going to take a strike right down the middle. Detmer's in the game right now. He's thrown 6 pitches so far. Look, the Angels bullpen, we said it on the show last night, one of the worst in Major League Baseball. So there's always a chance. You don't love a 3-run deficit this late, but there's always a chance. Always. I would love to see the Rangers just get 1 run back here. You make it 7-5. You have 2 innings to get 2 runs. Very, very possible. Adolis Garcia is looks like going to lay off here, and it's going to be a 1-1 count early. We'll bring you the rest of the game. Clearly, during the game, we'll be a little bit more locked in on what's happening on the field, but we will be checking comments on YouTube, on X, on TikTok. Appreciate all y'all and the support, even on days like tonight, nights like tonight when the results aren't quite there. Let's just put it that way. Here at Right on Rangers, we cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on the Texas Rangers during the MLB season, and we thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Again, drop a comment, drop a question, copy and paste it if I miss it. We try and get to everything of substance, never trying to duck anybody. Sometimes we're calling the game. Sometimes we're occupied elsewhere with one of the other apps, but please repost, copy and paste. You know the drill. We'll get to it eventually. Look, Dan, I'll talk a little bit about Jon Gray. Talk a little bit about him. We realize, and I know that there's a lot of people that love Jon Gray, but we realize Jon Gray, the last 2 seasons, has had a 4+ ERA, right? We get that, right? I feel like there's a little bit of a misconception about the type of pitcher that Jon Gray actually is. And I know 2023, the postseason, a lot of people looking back with rose-colored glasses. Can we all just take the truth serum here? Jon Gray has had a 4+ ERA the past 2 years. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. This guy is not an elite pitcher at this point in his career. And I know that sounds like shade. I know that sounds like disrespect. And look, we can say coming back from injury, this guy's had a 4+ ERA the past 2 years. This is not an elite pitcher. And I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. I'm not saying he's terrible. But I do think there is a little bit of an odd infatuation with Jon Gray as kind of this elite arm in the Rangers pen, in the Rangers rotation. I think he's probably a little bit more towards average than what a lot of Rangers fans probably give him credit for. And so I want to just say this. I don't think that Jon Gray was ever going to be the savior for this bullpen. I thought he would be a nice addition, and I think he might still have some good innings left in him down the stretch this season, but I just think we need to temper the expectations. You see a lot of people, nice deep blast here, just fouled by Josh Young, Oppo. You see a lot of people really thinking of Jon Gray as the missing piece, and I just didn't see it ever. I thought it was going to be nice, but I think all of us were on the same page. You still got to go out and improve the bullpen. But I think we need to temper the expectations a little bit on Jon Gray. Look, we're not dogging him, but Mason, what do you say to 4+ ERA 2 seasons in a row? That would be my one question, right? Nobody's dogging him, but I think what we are saying is the guy is a 4+ ERA pitcher at this point in his career. I don't think there's any way around that. We love what he did in 2023, but I don't think that you can sit there and convince me this guy is an elite bullpen piece. He's good. He's not terrible. But I don't think that Jon Gray is going to be the savior of your bullpen. That's where I'm at right now on Jon Gray. And that's why you need to go get bullpen help. And a lot of y'all are on that page. But Jon Gray probably, I think, a little bit too much viewed through rose-colored glasses in 2023. Josh Young, awful swing there. And a B. Reed Detmers is going to retire the side here. It did allow, obviously, the one runner to reach base, but we're going to go to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch time here. We can lock in on some comments, lock in on some questions. Rough night to be a Rangers fan unless we got a comeback in us. I sure would love to see that. But at this point, we got a little bit of a hole to climb out of. We keep going. Rangers can't play well in the West Coast. Who said that, man? My comment. You guys are going too quick with the comments. Hey, Zachary, what's good, man? Thank you so much for the comments tonight. Thanks for your support of the show. It does seem like the West Coast in general can be a little bit of a maze for the Rangers at times. You're working well and you're doing good things here and there, and then you're really, really struggling at different times too. So I agree. It's definitely been a little bit of an adventure out on the West Coast when the Rangers have come out here. I don't think, from what I read, by the way, Beanie Baby, appreciate the comment. From what I read, I don't think that any kind of tsunami waves are going to be hitting until after midnight. So I don't know. And Anaheim, by the way, is a little bit more inland. Not that they're not going to be taking any precautions, but it's not like Anaheim is right on the beach. Definitely not like 2 hours away, but not right there on the beach. So they probably have a little bit less to worry about than everybody else. But look, tsunami, I think any potential wave, I think they projected isn't going to be hitting till after midnight. So I think they're good. 9:15 right now. Plenty of time. If there was anything crazy going on with that. By the way, prayers up to everybody in that area, Hawaii especially, Japan. Man, they've been hit with tsunamis a couple of different times. So hopefully everybody will be able to take the proper precautions and no one will be devastated either with their home, with their health. Prayers up for everybody in that area for sure. Keep going. CY not going to do anything. I would have loved for CY to have been a little bit more proactive. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't this kind of an issue last year or in 2023? Like, it was a few days before the deadline. It was the Toronto series, wasn't it? It was like the Toronto series. And I think a lot of us were like, dude, make a move before the Toronto series. We don't need to go into the next week all the way up. And then we got swept by Toronto. And then CY still tried to make a trade like on the Monday or Tuesday right before the deadline. Do y'all remember that? That I think has kind of been what's happened again this year. You have really a great run of baseball. Your buyers, and you'd love for CY to go ahead and start the wheels a little bit sooner. And now we're going to get it to a spot where we're probably going to make a move still within the next couple of days, but it's going to be coming off a couple of losses. Maybe the Rangers get the win tomorrow. I would expect that they do with Nate Eovaldi on the bump. But again, last year, it was the Toronto series. You get swept in Toronto, and then you're buying when I think they went to St. Louis. It was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series in St. Louis, and we had just gotten swept by Toronto. Pretty sure all of us were saying, dude, make a move. Go get a bat. Go get an arm. And it felt like it was just a little bit too late with the series. Look, clearly a lot of strategy is waiting until the 11th hour. You get you get general managers that are a little bit more desperate. But it does kind of feel like, man, if you could have gone and gotten Taylor Ward, if you could have gotten a bullpen arm, it would have just injected that much more life into the squad. It felt a little lifeless last night. I don't know if y'all got that vibe either. Felt a little lifeless last night. And tonight it's just kind of been a comedy of errors at different points. Let me keep going. Do we even deserve Bednar? Look, after 2 losses, I'm not going to say we don't deserve to go get anybody. We still remain pretty dang close in that playoff race, my guys. So I'm not going to go that far on the other side, on the opposite side. Rangers are going to be all right. This is not a great series. This has not been a great 2 nights in Anaheim thus far. You hope they can salvage the rest of this game and the game tomorrow. That sure would be nice. But it's not looking great for tonight. Still hope. You still got 6 outs to work with. But clearly not probable based on odds and stats. I think the Rangers are going to be okay. I think the temptation is to melt when they lose a couple games in a row. They just won 6 in a row. Definitely a little concerned. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to say no concern, no worry. It's a little concerning. I just don't like that you go into Anaheim here on such a hot streak, and then you totally soil the bed first 2 games of the series. 2 outs, by the way, now. Marcus Semien makes the catch here. Top 5 prospect. I know that Bednar is controllable for a couple of years. I think on the show last night, I might have accidentally said that he's a half-season rental. Bednar's actually got a couple of years left on the deal. So that's my mistake last night. Blame it on the late night. We were going, an hour and 45 last night. I think just by the end of the show, my brain was failing me. But Bednar is actually controllable for a few seasons. So probably would have to give up a top 5, maybe a top 10 prospect for him. I don't know what the Rangers would be willing to give up there. I don't think that really anybody's untouchable except maybe for Sebastian Walcott. I don't think they're going to trade Walcott at all. But I do think that they're going to open it up to some other pieces around there. I don't know if we're going to get a hit by pitch here or if this is a foul ball, maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. Not sure what they're going to call here. Outfield outside of 1 catch was atrocious tonight. Different ball game if catches were made. Well, this is actually a good point to bring up. I thought about this multiple times. Brian, good to see you, my guy, even in a tough game. But, when you don't have Evan Carter out there, the outfield automatically downgrades. I mean, Evan Carter is an elite defender. When you don't have him patrolling in center field, you do kind of wonder, does Evan Carter make that catch that Wyatt Langford's not able to make? I think there's a decent chance that Evan probably gets to that one that Wyatt's not quite able to get to. But who knows? I mean, they're both fairly equal with speed. Evan's probably a little bit better with reads and routes. But we'll never know. And this is one of the downfalls of Evan Carter being a platoon player. You don't have one of your best outfielders in terms of defense out there. I don't think Haggerty is terrible, and neither do I think Wyatt is terrible out in center field. I don't know if center field is Wyatt's best position. I think left field has kind of become a little bit of a sweet spot for him. But this is what happens when you employ this lefty lineup. You get one less really, really good outfielder, and you've got to make do in other areas. Same thing with Ezekiel Duran, right? You got Zeke Duran playing first base. Not super, super comfortable there. And look, I know that when Cody Freeman got demoted and Zeke Duran stayed up, there were some Zeke Duran truthers, if you will, that were, trying to say, well, the defense is elite. He can play first base. He's a right-handed bat. I don't really care at this point. Look, I know Duran had a nice knock, so I don't want to trash Ezekiel Duran or get too negative on him, but this is what happens when you throw out this ragtag lineup. The defense is just going to suffer when you're plugging guys into different spots that they're not totally comfortable with. I mean, as much as we want to maybe say, hey, overall, Zeke hasn't been terrible at first base, he's not a first baseman by trade. It's one of the toughest positions to play. So for me, I just have never been in love with this lefty lineup that we throw out, all the guys we try and move around. Corey Seager, obviously, getting the day off. I get it. I mean, it had been a while, but I then also kind of don't get it. You just had the day off on Thursday, right? They just had a Thursday day off. And honestly, I was actually trying to I want to get you guys' opinion on this. My strong preference, and this is just in my mind, Seager had good numbers against Kikuchi. Why wouldn't you sit Corey Seager against a righty? Like, why wouldn't you sit Corey Seager on a day where we actually have a better offensive lineup? Like, for me, I know that it might seem counterintuitive. Maybe Boch is thinking, yeah, lefty. Corey Seager can hit homers off lefties. We've seen him do it over the past 2 or 3 weeks. My preference would have strongly been, could you sit Corey Seager against a weak right-handed pitcher? I mean, a game where you got your better lineup out there, and they're probably going to do all right without him. I just feel like sitting Corey Seager against a lefty, you're already making a bad lineup worse. Corey Seager can hit left-handed pitching, and he had pretty good numbers off of Kikuchi. So for me, I just don't love that. Yeah, look, the 28 game on base streak, look, it's not going to get ruined or anything, and they can't play him every single game the rest of the way. That's just not how they roll with Corey Seager. But again, my thing is, could you sit Corey against a weak right-hander where, you know what, the other guys in the lineup are probably going to connect? I think there's opportunities where you could have done that. You probably could have done it, on Monday last night against Kahanowicz. I would have probably rather done it against him. There's other opportunities, my point, to bench Corey Seager. Don't bench him against a lefty when we already have a terrible left-handed lineup. Keep going. Props to Higgy for sure. Higgy loves California, man. Bro loves California. Absolutely. Like, Sean, I'm with you too. Or Jonas, actually. Sorry, my bad. Sean, appreciate you, man. Thanks for the comments. Like, sit Corey tomorrow. I mean, you have Evo pitching. I think the Angels are throwing a righty tomorrow. Sit Corey tomorrow, man. You've got Evo on the mound. Really good chance of winning with him. And again, you've got your right-handed lineup. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I sure would love to see that, Antonio. Sure would love to see it. Yeah, Brian, I'm kind of with you. At least have the guy DH. And if you're not going to have him DH, again, if you're not going to play Seager, do it against a righty when we actually have all of our best hitters, quote unquote, up and in the lineup. This lefty lineup is unwatchable to me at times. You guys, Brian and Cade, explain a little bit more. What are you guys most drawn to with the Bochy managing decisions? Let me know in the chat. A couple of people, by the way, I know you guys can't see on TikTok. I know you guys can't see all the YouTube comments. A couple people are kind of saying Bochy with some interesting decisions of late. Get specific. Tell me what moves you're thinking about. I've got a couple in mind. Nothing crazy. I don't like the Seager benching tonight. You just lost a tough one last night. I don't love benching your best player in an already weak lineup. So to me, that's one of them. But you guys let me know. What are some other moves that you would have done a little bit differently? By the way, Jonah Heim up right now. No outs. Rangers got 6 outs to work with here. Brogdon is in. Again, the Angels' pen is one of the worst in the league. I keep saying that out loud. The Rangers keep not connecting. Jonah Heim is going to wave on a pitch right down the pipe here. 94, right over the heart of the plate. Come on, Jonah. Get on base, baby. Let's go. Let's go, man. 0-2. All right, let's keep rolling. Armstrong or Wynn should pitch the 6th. Seager not playing. Evo should pitch versus Mariners. Pitching last game, move him to first game. That would be interesting. I mean, you could kind of go one of two ways. The Rangers already against the Mariners. Yeah, clearly you're not going to win the season series. It does feel like obviously more important to have him in the Mariners series because you're behind the Mariners right now. But I think with the injuries, Cade, my only defense of Bochy with that is I think because of the injuries, they're just trying their hardest to keep guys in a rhythm, to keep things as consistent as possible and not messing with guys' schedule in between starts. That's the best I got, man. That's the best I got. I would love to have Evo for the Mariners series, though. That would be huge. Langford is just like Tavares, scared to dive head first. I have said I don't understand Wyatt and the inability to dive head first for baseballs out in the outfield. I mean, I think he can slide head first. We watched that on that crazy play where he scored all the way from first on the Jonah Heim double. What was that, last week? I mean, dude can slide head first. He slides feet first quite a bit. Personally, when you're coming in for those low liners, I think the head first is a much better way to go. Played a little outfield myself. Again, not trying to speak like I'm some big elite former baseball player, but I mean, that head first slide on those that are low and coming in real soft, bloop style. I don't know. I think head first slide, got to figure out a way to get that down. I don't know if Wyatt just doesn't feel comfortable with it or what, but you just don't see him slide head first very much. Jack, I hope you're right. I hope you're right about John Gray. I really do. Here's my 2 cents on John Gray. If you're coming in new, clearly a lot of people look at John Gray through the lens of 2023 and what he did in the postseason, which he had a lot of quality innings. He came in out of the bullpen. He was great. Higgy's going to send one deep. Did he get another one? He got another one. Higgy is going to homer, baby. And we are going to have a 7-5 ball game. There you go, Higgy. Let's go, baby. Whew. Hey, you got one back. 2 more to go. Higgy just loves hitting in California. Like, it's really too bad bro does not play there full time. I mean, I know he did with the Padres. Bro just loves hitting in California. I know Higgy's from the greater Los Angeles area, so a little bit of a homecoming for him. And he sends his second deep ball out. Second deep ball of the night. Good for Higgy, man. Left center field shot. Hey, look. Now you just need a bloop and a blast to tie it up. Can we get Higgy up a couple more times, please? Oh, man. He crushed that. He really did. Yeah, look, again, going back to John Gray, the comment that I've got hanging out up above my head here. Personally, I just feel like we got to temper expectations with Gray. I think there's a lot of Rangers fans that expect him to be like this elite shutdown closer. And I just don't really think that is who he is. John Gray has had a 4+ ERA his past 2 seasons, right? Again, not terrible. I'm not saying he's washed. I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just saying, can we temper the expectations? This guy is not elite shutdown closer. He's a solid pitcher. You can match him up. He's got a nice slider, mid-90s fastball. Bro is not some elite shutdown closer. Let's just pump the brakes on that a little bit here. All right, so we got Josh Smith in right now. And Smith in a 2-2 count. See if he can get on. Is Joc Pederson in the on-deck circle? That's what I'm seeing. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Kenley Jansen warming up as well. Maybe going to get a 4-out save or something like that. Smith is going to send one into left field. Taylor Ward is there for the catch. And it looks like Joc Pederson will step up to the plate. 2 down in the 8th inning. Yeah, Joc Pederson, I was a little surprised. Dallas Morning News, Evan Grant coming out. and basically saying, Joc's got to show you something pretty quickly here. And I saw a couple of different Rangers media people saying similar things. Like I said, give him a couple of weeks. Some of these media members that I follow were basically saying maybe not even that. Maybe you just give him the Mariners series. And if he's not able to figure out the Mariners series, you think about something different. I was a little surprised. By the way, a Joc quickly in an 0-2 count. Shaka. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to turn my focus on. One of my group chats was like going haywire. It wasn't the Discord. It was one of my text group chats. You know how it goes. You like 50 messages later. Didn't want y'all to hear that dinging all show long. Anyways, Joc Pederson right now, 1-2 count. Let's see if he can get on base or send one deep. That'd be even better. Send one deep, please. Evan Carter replacing Haggerty in the on-deck circle. Here we go. If anybody can get on, it'll be EC. Joc is going to ground out here. And look, I don't think anybody is surprised. Weak 72-mile-an-hour ground ball. Carter is up first in the 9th inning. I like that at least. You got Evan Carter coming up in the 9th to lead off. It's a good leadoff hitter to have. And then you can kind of slowly start turning over that lineup. So we'll have Carter, Langford, Simeon. If anybody gets on Garcia, at least we got a shot. Joc Pederson, though, man, I don't think he's going to get an extended shot at continuing to be a DH for the Texas Rangers if he does not figure it out quickly. I really wanted to believe that Joc was going to come back from injury and be a totally new baseball player. So far, it's not looking great. I mean, it's not even like Joc is launching missiles right at people. They're just catching leather. Some of the swings, some of the ABs just look ugly. Like on that one, you see Joc get down quickly 0-2. That's happened a lot since he has been back. And I know it hasn't been that many ABs, but I just don't think the Rangers are going to have a lot of patience for a struggling Joc Pederson. Convenient day off for him, by the way, after 2 back-to-back really subpar games. Kind of a convenient day off with Kikuchi throwing for the Angels. I'm sure we'll see Joc again the rest of this week in the DH spot against any righty pitcher. I think from what it sounds like, they're going to give Joc maybe the rest of the week. And if Bro isn't figuring it out, they might try and go to some plan B. So we'll see if that happens or not. Probably kind of depends on who they pick up at the trade deadline. Rangers and Mariners interested in Rockies relievers. Well, the one guy that they brought up, the Rockies relievers, let me look at the roster real quick and just make sure that I'm getting everybody's name good and right. There were 3 relievers. I think Jake Bird was the big one. And Jake Bird's had like a really bad last 2 weeks, but he was absolutely elite in the month of June. But I guess July has been like a little bit of an adventure for him. So Jake Bird, from what I read, was kind of the top guy out of the Colorado Arms. Look, if they like what they're seeing, Coors Field is obviously a tough place to play, tough on the body as well, playing at altitude. So I think there is something to be said. You bring a guy like Jake Bird to Arlington. You pitch in obviously closer to sea level, pitching indoors. It makes a difference. Globe Life, I do think, plays a little bit more like a pitcher's park for sure. So I do think there's something to be said, even if a guy doesn't have the most outstanding numbers playing for Colorado, they could easily go somewhere else like Arlington and have success. So look, I don't need for the Rangers to go get Duran. I don't need for the Rangers to go out and get Bednar. It'd be nice, but I don't need that to happen. If they can find a high-quality arm somewhere else, I'll trust them to do it. See why? Actually, that is one area where I don't feel like we should doubt him very much. I think that he actually has a really, really good feel for the pitching side, and obviously so and rightfully so. It's the hitting side that I worry a lot more about with Chris Young. So for me, I actually feel like if he is looking at those Colorado arms, there's probably something to it. I trust CY on the bullpen side, on the pitching side, scouting out that talent. It's really the offense that worries me more than anything. When you think about the offensive acquisitions for Chris Young, that's where it's gotten a little bit murky. He's hit a bunch of homers, though, going to get pitchers, going to get veteran guys at value. I'm for it. Look, Bosley's still in the game. The last thing that you want to do here, you got a 2-run game. You got the heart of the lineup. You got the top of the order coming up next. The last thing you want to do is walk the guy who's leading off the inning right after you put one back up on the board. And that's what we've got here. Bosley walks the first batter of the inning, Campero. You're trying to get a shutdown inning and hopefully tie up the game in the top of the ninth, man. It's just not what you want to see. Not what you want to see here. It looks like Mike Maddox is coming out, rightfully so. I'm going to put the arm on the shoulder here and get to work. Come on, Mike. Say something good, brother. We need to get out of this thing. I might be delusional, but I actually still have hope that the Rangers might be able to spark something special in the top of the ninth. If they give up another run, though, I don't feel so awesome about that. I mean, you could get lucky, or I should say fortunate, with an Adolis Garcia blast to tie it up, 3-run bomb. He's done that before. But I'd rather keep it at a 2-run game, absolutely. Yep, that's the spirit right there. Need a ground ball. Need a ground ball. Heim and Higgy over Joc. Cade, I think that is what's going to happen. That is going to happen. If Joc cannot play, I think we will see a lot of Heim and Higgy. The double catcher lineup that all y'all love so much. That is unless we go get a right-handed bat. Stolen base. Campero takes it quite easily. That's not good. I'm biting my tongue, y'all. This team makes you so upset sometimes, man. What was that? They were just asleep on that. Did y'all see that? They were just asleep. Higgy didn't even throw. He froze. What was that? Higgy froze and didn't even realize that there was a runner going. That's got to be on Joc Pederson, maybe not saying anything. Is that what they're saying on the broadcast right now? Are they saying they were showing Joc? Are they talking about how he didn't communicate? Let me know. Moncada, I don't know are you going to intentionally walk Moncada? I don't know about that. I know he's got a decent OPS. I don't know if they're going to do the intentional walk here with nobody out. All right, let's keep things rolling here. We got a 2-1 count at this point. Yoan Moncada up. We actually talked about Moncada, I think, when we were doing kind of our big trade block, trade options segment a couple nights ago. Doesn't have a huge sample size. Switch hitter, I believe. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off. 2-2 count. Look, Evan Carter, Caden, he's not in any position to demand a trade. Yeah, I figured when they were showing Joc, I don't have the sound on right now, but I figured when they were showing Joc, you were having a problem with communication. Obviously the first baseman is always yelling, runner, runner, and probably didn't happen. And that's, again, a result of Joc not playing a lot of first base. We know he's practiced it, but doesn't have a lot of mental reps there, doesn't have a lot of physical reps there. It's not his primary position. That's what happens when you've got guys playing all over the field. All right, here we go. Here's a pitch, ground ball. Going to get the runner over to third base. So we'll probably bring the infield in here, but we do get the out. 1 down, Rangers trailing by 2. Angels right fielder, Campero on third base right now. Rangers going to bring the infield in, try and cut down the run. Bochy is going to go to the pen right now. So Bosley exiting the ball game. Not ideal starting off the bottom of the 8th with the walk. At least he is able to getting out, and Sean Armstrong is going to come in the game, try and keep it right here where it is. 6-1 ace. All right, then. How much time before this game ends? Probably like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We'll see what happens. Maybe 30 if the Rangers can actually come back in this one. Oh, man. All right, TikTok, what's good? Appreciate all y'all hanging out. What did I miss? Feel free to go ahead and repost if you commented and I missed it. Rangers got to lock in, bro. I'm totally with you. Totally with you on that. Appreciate the comment, my guy. With and without Joc in the lineup, there's a huge difference in productivity and wins and losses. A lot of y'all were worried Joc might kill the vibes, and so far it looks like that may have happened. Justin, can't do that, buddy. Sorry. Put it on a TV. Get it up on another device if you got one. Otherwise, yeah, can't do it. Don't want to get the channel any copyright strikes, any nonsense like that, brother. Would I rather have a John Gray slider or Brock Holt ephus? Tonight, the ephus might have worked a little bit better, honestly. John Gray was not completely sharp this evening. Is Langford untouchable? Will anyone trade for Joc? No, nobody will trade for Joc. Who are the Rangers trading first? Probably prospects at this point. If you are trading somebody, maybe it would be like an expiring contract guy. Patrick Corbin. Maybe it would be one of the guys that is expiring contract after 2026. Think like Jonah Heim, possibly Adolis Garcia. I think Dolly's probably unlikely to be traded, but that's who I would think. Langford, I don't think is untouchable, but I don't think they'll be moving Langford either. If you're going to trade Wyatt Langford or Josh Young or any of these guys that are really up and coming, you've got to be getting a really, really good player in return, because Josh Young, Wyatt Langford could absolutely turn into all-star level players. Josh Young obviously has already been an all-star. Wyatt Langford making his way there still. But you've got to be getting a really, really good player back in return if you're trading a Wyatt Langford. It's got to be a guy that's better than Wyatt Langford right now. Let me put it to you that way. All right, let's keep rolling. Yokohama Bay Stars are interested in Joc Pederson. Yeah, again, we talked about it on the show last night. Joc might end up in Japan at this point. Hey, appreciate the generosity, man. Thank you so much. Prime Raven, what's good? Thank you, thank you. What chance the Rangers can make a comeback here? Look, we got to get out of this inning right now. If the Rangers give up a run here, I can't say I'm feeling too awesome. I would love to see the Rangers get a couple guys on and make it interesting in the ninth. Kenley Jansen, pretty good. I'd put a Rangers comeback right now at about 20%, and that might be generous. I only say that because the bullpen for Anaheim has been so suspect, but Kenley Jansen has actually been pretty good, and the Rangers have the top of the order coming up. You never know. You never know. Bloop and a blast. Walk. Armstrong just wild, man. They hit Zach Neto here. I wonder if that was intentional. Zach Neto is kind of annoying the last series. They've hit Neto a couple times tonight, haven't they? I kind of wonder if there's anything to that, or if it's just random stupid coincidence. But Neto was kind of a little bit of an annoyance last series. I just kind of wonder if maybe that's a thing. More faith in Duran to get a hit than Joc. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I don't know. I disagree, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, have a point. We got swept by Toronto, Montgomery, Chapman, Stratton. Look, we'll see what happens at the trade deadline. It does feel like every trade deadline, like, it's not like we're going into like a crazy win streak. I know we just won 6 in a row, but it feels like the last couple of trade deadlines, we have like just gone into it with a few losses under our belt. And then it just kind of feels a little anticlimactic, if you will. Mike Trout's going to get hit here, by the way. Bases loaded. I don't know what's going on with Armstrong. I don't know what's going on. Bruce Bochy and Angels manager getting into it a little bit here. Yeah, this is just stupid. Clearly, Armstrong, I think, is just losing it here. Like, the Rangers aren't trying to lose this ball game. I mean, I just don't see this being intentional. I don't understand. The Rangers are not trying to lose this ball game. There's no way they're trying to put runners on base. This would be literally the worst time to be just putting runners on base to hit people. I'm sure that's what Bruce said. Bro, you think we're trying? I don't think he says bro, but bro, you think we're trying to lose a ball game right now? You think we're trying to load the bases down 2 in a playoff race? Yeah, look, not good. Armstrong hitting 2 guys. Not good. I'm kind of with you. This is one of the more entertaining things that has happened in this series. But, again, really, is Armstrong trying to hit Neto and Trout back-to-back in a 2-run ball game in the middle of a playoff race? I just don't think so. Mike Trout hit on the wrist, from what it looks like. He has got a ton of protective equipment, man. Might have been the one area he doesn't have it. Yeah, I think that's kind of a young manager right there. Bruce Bochy, he don't play, man. I think that was kind of a young manager popping off there. Bochy doesn't say bro. He says bruh. Yeah, look, I think that's kind of a young manager popping off right there. Not really remembering who's across in the other dugout. Like, yeah, there's nothing to that, man. We're not trying to hit anybody right there. You're not trying to lose this ball game. Definitely not. Although, again, Neto was a little bit of an annoyance, was a nuisance last series. I don't know. I kind of saw Neto maybe as a potential with a base open there. Hitting Trout, though, I just don't think there's anything to that at all. Armstrong just doesn't have it. All right, bases loaded here, 1 out. I guess you got to force it every base now. You got to force it every base. And we got to get Shanuel up right now. He is 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch, ball in the dirt, man. Armstrong is having a tough time controlling pitches right now. Bouncing a fastball right there to Higgy. Nice stop. I don't know what's going on, man. This is a weird game. Seriously. Just a weird game all the way around. All right. Pitch number 2 incoming here. Armstrong sets, delivers. And ball, oh, hello. Christmas came early on that pitch. That was probably 6 inches below the zone that got called a strike. This home plate umpire's had some doozies today so far. Strike 2, foul, so we're in a 1-2 count. Look, 1 pitch and you could be out of this. 1 pitch, roll me over. You could be out of this. Got a ground ball foul there. Shanuel's going to take a timeout here. 0 for 2 with 2 walks on the night. Armstrong really been one of the more reliable pitchers for the Rangers. You know, a little bit of a tough spot. You're coming in cleaning up the Bosley mess, but Armstrong's not doing himself any favors with these hit-by pitches. All right. Pitch number 4 incoming. Armstrong sets and fires. That's a ball deep. Could be a gapper. Wyatt is going to get there. Run is going to score. Campero scores easily from third base, and it's 8-5. Mike Trout takes second. That's really unfortunate, man. That is really unfortunate. I'm going to have to see what happened there. I did not get a good look at the throw. They panned away to the score at home. Here we go. We're going to get the wide shot. What was Wyatt doing here? Just taking his time too much, man. Just took his time a little too much. Little too casual. Now with Ward up, I feel like you don't give Ward anything to hit here. I don't think you give Taylor Ward anything to hit here. Rangers down 3. trying to keep it right there. With a base open here, I don't think you pitch to Taylor Ward at all. I wouldn't be. Looks like they're being pretty careful. Ball 2, they're throwing him a lot of outside pitches. 2-1 count. No reason to give Ward anything to hit. Yep, sliders on the outside. That's exactly where you need to be. See if you can get him to chase one. They actually came back in the zone here. This one was right over the heart of the plate. Caught the bottom of the zone. I am shocked that they threw him a pitch over the heart of the plate. It was nicely painted on the bottom half of the zone, but I'm a little surprised here. No, Ben, no way. I mean, look who they have up next. I would not be pitching to Taylor Ward here. Adele, I guess, has had a pretty good year. I don't know. I don't think I'm pitching to Ward, but they came after him and got him. Good for them. Good for them, man. That's awesome. Kenley Jansen, yeah, he is going to be coming in. 8 runs, 6 base hits. Isn't that crazy? That is wild, man. 8 runs. Ben, thank you for the comments, my guy. 8 runs on 6 base hits. That just tells you, man. That just tells you. What even is this comment? All bark to fight. Bro, come on. If you're going to, like, burn, you got to get it right. I think you got the wrong expression there, my guy. Come on now. I say this every night. Like, I would love to get roasted well, but you just get these, like, bad roasts that are, like, just off. Like, come on. If you're going to trash talk, like, at least give me something good. Come on, baby. Any guess on Rangers trade acquisitions? Josh, what's good, man? Yeah, I would think Rangers are still going to get a bullpen arm. Right-handed bat has gotten a little bit louder as well. I think that those are the 2 pieces they probably end up getting. There's been some talks with Tampa Bay. I got a notification that Texas has been in talks with the Rays. Maybe Pete Fairbanks, a little reunion with the former Ranger Pete Fairbanks. That would be cool. Yandy Diaz, I would love that. Absolutely. All right, let's keep going. What else we got? Just roast my own team instead. I like that. Yeah, that's honestly a lot of what we get to do tonight. Seriously. Sorry for the spotty connection, by the way. Anybody on YouTube or X, I don't know what's going on tonight. Do not know what's going on tonight. I think I got an idea, actually. I got an idea. This might mess things up. So X and YouTube, if I lose you, we'll be right back. All right, sweet. Hopefully that evens things out a little bit. I got Ethernet plugged in, but for whatever reason, Wi-Fi was on. I think it was messing me up. We have 7 more hits yet, down 3. I know it's a weird game. Like, it is a weird game. That's all you can really say about this one. All right. So Rangers need a walk, a bloop, and an Adolis Garcia 3-run bomb? Or are we going to get greedy and, a walk, a bloop, a solid line drive, and then Adolis Garcia hits a bomb? Let's just go for the gusto, man. Why not? Evan Carter, good guy to have leading off here. Ball 1. We got to get this first guy on. Key ingredient to any 9th inning comeback. Got to get this first guy on. Pitch number 2, right over the heart of the plate. Evan fouls it off. You guys know, one of my pet peeves. You get these pitches right over the middle, right down central. You got to do something with it. Evan's going to foul off another pitch right over the heart of the plate. It's frustrating, man. You get these pitches right down the pipe, and all you can do is foul them off. It's just not good. And this isn't 98 miles an hour. This is 92, 93. Maybe a little bit of movement on it. It's just unfortunate, man. You're not able to hit these, what I would call mistake pitches. I don't think Kenley's trying to throw it right over the middle. Not a lot of relief pitchers are. Not a lot of pitchers in general are. Foul number 3, by the way, here. This one would have been ball 2, most likely. Although with this umpire, you never know. But ball 2 is going to get taken on pitch number 5 here. So Evan Carter, another quality at bat. It's going to be a 6-pitch at bat here in a second. Evan, one of the best in the lineup at doing this. 93 up and away. Pitch 6 incoming. And Evan Carter is going to strike out swinging here. Out number 1. Man alive. That's what happens. That's what happens, man. You miss the 2 pitches right over the heart of the plate. You're not going to get 3 or 4 cookies, man. You're not. You might get 1 or 2 in an AB. You're not going to get 3 or 4. Rangers got to be better at hitting this pitch right down the middle. Evan just got that one blown past him a little bit here. All right. Langford up to bat, 3 for 4 on the night. He has had a good night up at the plate. He is going to wave through that first pitch, which would have been painted right on the inside corner there. Next one, high and tight. I wonder if little retaliation there. I wonder if they were trying to come back and retaliate a little bit there. I don't know. It maybe at least send a message, brush off a little bit. I can't imagine. I mean, look, the Angels obviously have less going for them than the Rangers do. 3-run lead. I mean, they could probably afford to hit somebody, but you really don't want to. Wyatt, gonna pop this one up. Way too many pop-ups from Wyatt. Oh, I thought that might have been about to drop between Ward and Neto there. Rangers are down to their last out here. Marcus, last hope. Come on, baby. At least we got Evo throwing tomorrow. Am I right? At least we got Evo going tomorrow, man. What a disappointing first 2 games. Hey, Marcus is going to keep this game alive, though. Second base hit of the night. Good hustle from Simi. He didn't win that Heart and Hustle award for no reason, man. Love that. Simi gives the Rangers some hope here. Adolis Garcia up. This is why that run, Bosley walking guys, man, just sucks. Now, you got Doley up, and he would have had a chance to tie the game here if you don't give up that run in the bottom of the 8th. Just really, really unfortunate, man. Not really a game the Rangers deserve to win, but maybe they get lucky here. Good for Simi hustling it out. First pitch, Bombi here, and we're going to get game over. Bombi swinging first pitch, and he is going to slice one to right field. Rangers lose by the score of 8-5. Did have the lead at one point. Really, really fun stuff there. Zeke Duran coming through with a base knock. Josh Smith coming around to put the Rangers up 4-3. And it was all downhill in a bad way from there. Rangers are going to lose this series to Anaheim. Very, very disappointing. You know what? You keep kind of the wide lens here. Rangers are like 9-3 over their last 12 games. It's pretty dang good. But these losses hurt. There's no way for me to sugarcoat it. These losses hurt. But you go wide frame, you go wide lens. 9-3 over your last 12. That ain't too shabby. You have got to come out tomorrow ready to win a ball game, though. You got Evo on the mound. I think the Rangers are going to be able to employ the right-handed lineup, the right-handed starting pitcher lineup, I should say. Hopefully you salvage a game tomorrow, and then you head to Seattle, and you maybe are able to pick up a couple. I think at this point, if you split this road trip, it's not the worst thing in the world. You just had a lot of success on the homestand. If you can go 500 on this roadie, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We will see what happens over the next 5 games. Rangers obviously have the game tomorrow. They've got 4 games in Seattle. Definitely not going to be a walk in the park, but if you can get 3 wins on this road trip, not the worst thing. 3-4 would not be super awesome. You'd love to be 4-3. 5-2 seems a little bit unlikely at this point. You've already lost 2 games. But, man, 4-3 would be nice. I think you'll take 4-3. Is this Corbin's last start as a Ranger? Jeez. I don't think so. I'm not going to be totally surprised, but I don't think so. Garcia's been really bad recently, not including the home run robbery. Look, this is what you get with Adolis, though, right? I think we all can agree on this. With Adolis, you're going to get really, really good. You're going to get a 2 for 4. You're going to get a 3 for 4 night. And then you're going to get several stretches of not so great. And look, I think Adolis on the evening, you check out the box score tonight, did have one hit, did have an RBI. Probably not the reason why the Rangers lose this ball game, but at the same time, Adolis, he has his stretches. You look at Adolis, you look at the numbers over his last 7, over his last 15, last 7 games hitting 200 with a 606 OPS. We're below average there. Gets a little better over the last 15, 224 average, and he's sporting roughly about a 722 OPS. So again, gets a little bit better if you go a little bit wider, last 15, but no, over his last 7 games, Adolis does have 1 homer, but 9 Ks in 7 games, not his best stretch of baseball. The errors were comical. Dallas Sports, what's good, man? Errors were comical, 100%. Big reason I think the Rangers lost this game. I don't think that's rocket science. Big reason why the Rangers were not able to come through here. We keep things rolling. Appreciate you guys. Sacrificing Evan's defense because they won't let him hit lefties. Terrible decision by Bochy. I think that Evan Carter next year is probably going to get a chance to be an everyday player, but it is a point well taken when you've got Evan Carter sitting against lefties every single time. Every single time, you are taking a really good defensive outfielder and putting him on the bench. And that is something I think the Rangers will address next year. I do think 2026 is the year Evan at least gets a shot at starting every day. I don't think they're going to do it right now. Duran error cost us a run for sure, and that is playing guys out of position. Duran is not a first baseman by trade. I know he's played first base here and there over the years. It's not a position he grew up playing. These positions can sometimes take years to master, seriously. Especially a position like first base, one of the toughest positions to play in the sport. Yeah, John Gray, I've seen a bunch of y'all talk about John Gray. Look, Gray's a 4+ ERA pitcher over the past 2 seasons. We got to stop looking back on John Gray with the rose-colored glasses. John Gray is not a terrible pitcher. I don't think that John Gray is washed. But I do think that John Gray right now, by, I don't want to say a majority, but by a number of Rangers fans, is kind of being propped up as this elite bullpen piece. Bro's got a 4+ ERA his last 2 seasons. I think we need to pump the brakes on that a little bit. Big reason why the Rangers still want to go out and get another bullpen piece. John Gray, a nice versatile arm to have in the bullpen. Definitely not elite level closer. I don't think that they need to bench or DFA or trade John Gray. But I will say this, and this was kind of an interesting debate that I saw on X. When the Rangers traded Dane Dunning, some Rangers fans were not happy about it. Dane Dunning, I think, pretty beloved by some Rangers fans. And I really, really love Dane Dunning as well. Just a good story, 2023 Pitcher of the Year. And basically the point that this Rangers fan made on X was, they got rid of the wrong pitcher. They should have kept Dane Dunning. They should have dealt John Gray. And the reasoning was a little bit faulty. But I don't believe that John Gray is levels above Dane Dunning. And again, emphasis on the word levels. I don't think John Gray is levels above Dane Dunning. He might be 1 level. I don't think he's 2+ levels above where Dane Dunning is. And John Gray is a guy that if you traded him, you would have a lot of salary freed up to go out and make some big moves, bigger moves at the deadline. I don't think that I necessarily take Gray over Dunning. I don't think that that is a foregone conclusion. I don't know what Dunning is going to be long-term. He's still got quite a bit of career left. I know he's been a little bit up and down this year. But I think there is something to be said. You traded John Gray. You got a lot of salary freed up. I just wonder how much elite baseball are you going to get out of Jon Gray versus kind of inning eaters type. I hope this is just a bad game, but I do think numbers don't lie. Jon Gray has not been sub 3 ERA guy, sub 350, sub 4. Jon Gray has been 4+ ERA guy the past 2 seasons. And so, look, I think that looking back is always going to be more convenient than being in the moment. It's easier to say something like this after a night like tonight, but I will say, Jon Gray, I think that we definitely have to realize a little bit of a reality check. He has his limitations. All right, let's keep going. 2 to 3 unproven prospects, really a lot for what? For Jax? Or Halverson? No, I mean, I think that is what you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up a couple of maybe AA, low A, high A arms. And, it just depends on what the trading team wants. Do they want to focus on pitching? Do they want to focus on position players? Really just depends. Who should our main closer be? Good question. I think it's whoever we acquire at the deadline, don't you? Question on YouTube, who's the closer? I think it's really probably whoever we acquire at the deadline. I don't know if I love Robert Garcia. I don't know if I love Sean Armstrong. Chris Martin, obviously still on the IL. I think whoever we acquire at the deadline should probably be the new closer. Dan, I don't want to go there after a couple of losses. I know these losses suck, bro. And, I appreciate all your support of the channel in the comments. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't want to go there. I think that the Rangers are going to be fine. I think that you've had a couple of bad games. You had to come out to California. Quick turnaround, right? You played Sunday, then you got to fly out to Cali. You get in late on, early Monday morning. It's how it goes. This just isn't totally shocking to me. It's just disappointing. Disappointing the Rangers aren't able to at least win one of these 2 games. 5 to 15 range is wide open. Yeah, you'd prefer not to part with top 5 prospects. You'd prefer not to part with top 5 prospects if you possibly can. It just depends on who you're going to go out and get. If you want to get a Bednar, you might have to part with the top 5. Maybe, hopefully, it's a 4 or a 5th prospect, but we'll see. For sure, the Rangers are better at home than away. That's another thing you have to consider. This has always been a team. Always has been a team that has struggled more on the road. This is an elite ball club playing at home. The numbers are there to support that argument. The home record is outstanding. It's outstanding. I think the last time I checked, the home record, if the Rangers played every game at home and you averaged it all out, they would be close to a 100-win team. The Rangers are an elite team when they play at home. It's really the road ball that they still haven't been able to completely figure out. Yep, that's a good question. What do we do against Seattle and the Angels when we're playing on the road particularly? Keep going. Appreciate all y'all hanging. This team needs 2, possibly 3 bullpen arms if Spores doesn't make it back this season. Spores definitely low on the velocity right now. That's another thing. A lot of people I saw, Gray coming back, Spores coming back, the missing pieces. Both of those guys, sentimental, not totally washed up or bad. I think they're nice pieces, but definitely not saviors. At least I don't think so. I don't think the Rangers go get 3 bullpen arms. I appreciate the sentiment. I think if they could, and it all worked out to afford it well, you would love to do something like that. But I think in all likelihood, it's probably 1, maybe 2 bullpen arms at most. Keep going. Bird from Colorado, Brady, I think would be interesting. Again, I take the Colorado pitching with a grain of salt. It's tough to pitch at Coors Field. Altitude is tough on the body when you're competing. I definitely think looking at Bird's numbers at a glance, maybe you say, But when you consider the Coors Field factor, the Colorado factor, the altitude factor, I think CY and Fenstermaker, I trust those guys to go find good arms. They have proven they can scout out quality arms. It is the offensive side of things that makes me a little bit nervous. Appreciate the follow, by the way. Thank you, Brady. We got our nightly Cal Raleigh comp, by the way. Just thought I'd give you that update. Bird was awesome the first part of the season. I think he's had a tough month of July, though. A really tough month of July, actually, but he was elite all the way through June, basically, I believe. Higgy could be the everyday DH if he played in California all the time, man. Feels like whenever he comes to California, he lights it up. I still think the Rangers go out and get a right-handed bat. I hope they win tomorrow. I hope they win on Thursday as well. I think tomorrow, obviously, is the last game before the trade deadline. I just hope they get a win tomorrow. It just feels a lot better going into the deadline when you get a win. The deadline is at, 4 p.m., I believe, on Thursday. So the Rangers will play tomorrow. And then, look, they won't play again until Thursday night after the deadline has passed. So you got one more game. You hope the Rangers can get a win, go into the deadline on a positive note, and then we can see them add that righty bat that we've all been clamoring for and that high-octane bullpen arm. Trying to speak it into existence, y'all. Do I think Gray can be a reliever? Well, he's doing it right now. I think he can be solid. I just don't think Gray is going to be the savior that some fans have kind of painted him out to be in the bullpen. I think the expectation a little bit unfair for Jon Gray, a guy that's had a 4+ ERA in each of his last 2 seasons. He's not washed. He's not terrible, but just not a guy that's going to save your bullpen at this point in his career. Tyler, no, the Rangers are going to buy. They're still in a really good position to make the playoffs. I think that winning streak, they showed enough. You don't love losing these 2 games in Anaheim. You don't. But you get a win tomorrow. You start winning a couple of games in Seattle, finish out the road trip strong, maybe get a couple pieces at the deadline, makes a huge, huge difference. All right, let's keep rolling. He was a solid pitcher in the 23 run, Sean. I think that's a big reason why people have a little bit of the rose-colored glasses with Jon Gray. The 2023 run was special. Jon Gray was very solid down the stretch, pitching out of the pen in that 23 run. And so a lot of Rangers fans have that in their mind when they think about Jon Gray. But again, you look at the numbers, you look at the advanced stats. Jon Gray is an average pitcher, maybe slightly above average, but not a guy that's going to save your pen or be this elite shutdown guy for the rest of the season. I think he's a versatile piece. You can have him in long relief. You can put him against some high leverage situations. I think the Rangers are going to do a little bit of everything with Jon Gray, but I think that they need to go and get help. They need to go out and get that high-octane, high-quality bullpen piece that can really help round things out. They kept hitting Trout. Yeah, they did. How many did he get hit twice? I know he got hit once. HBPs, let's see. Where's it at? It's not showing it to me for whatever reason in the box score. Oh, here it is. Haggerty, Neto got hit twice. Rengifo got hit. And then Trout got hit, right? And then, let's see. Yeah. Trout got hit. Neto got hit twice. Rengifo got hit. Haggerty got hit as well. So, yeah, a lot of HBPs tonight. Oh, Steve, appreciate the follow, man. Thank you so much. Francisco, I definitely see what you're saying, man. Who's on the mound for the first game of Seattle? Let's see. Wouldn't it be Rocker? Francisco, thanks for the gift, man. I think it would be Rocker, wouldn't it? I think it'll go Rocker, Leiter, and then DeGrom. I think DeGrom will be on Saturday, and then we'll see Corbin again on Sunday. That would seem to make sense. And then we won't see Evo again until the Yankee series. The Yankee series starts on Monday. So we got 2 series coming up, pretty huge. Seattle and Yankees back-to-back. I mean, Kumar Rocker did pitch pretty well in his debut up in Seattle last year, so I'll give him that. But I'm with you. The Rocker road splits are not outstanding. Rocker road splits are actually pretty bad. And kind of nightmare fuel low-key, so you probably don't want to go look at those. Rocker road splits are pretty dang bad. Young has not been good. Young has actually been really good. Young has been really, really good. So, I mean, since coming back from AAA, I don't know. Let's see. What were the numbers tonight on Josh Young? Josh Young has been solid. 1 for 4 tonight. Did strike out twice, but the numbers for him have been elite since coming back from AAA. No, you don't lose your on-base streak unless you play. So if he would have like pinch hit tonight and not reached, then the streak ends. But if you don't play in the game, no, you don't lose the on-base streak. All right. Let's see. Ozuna homer in 2 straight games. We'll see. Man, I just don't know. Ethan, you think that's a good move for Texas? Seriously, bro? I mean, convince me. I'm open to it. I just think the hip injury and a little bit of the second half slide just has me worried, man. Good to see you, my guy. Thank you so much for the comments. I'm just a little worried about Ozuna. Some of y'all I know have been talking about Ozuna. I feel like I lit the match on Ozuna at the beginning of the year. I made a video called Go Get a Bat, and that was like back in May. I was asking CY to go get a bat, and I'm still asking. But I started out with Ozuna. I graduated to Taylor Ward. Ethan, I actually like your Yandy Diaz pick the best, my guy. But Ozuna, I'm just a little bit worried about. The hip injury that he's managing the rest of the year, the second half struggles, just don't feel super awesome. But yeah, I did read that as well. Ozuna, the 365 on base percentage would be tops. I think Seager's getting pretty close to that, Ethan, if I'm not mistaken. But point well taken. He would be one of the tops in on base percentage. The hip injury is the only thing that worries me. I just don't like that. You know, one bad move, and now the guy you traded for is Gimpy going on the IL. I just really want to see the Rangers go get a little bit more of a sure shot, a guy that's going to produce and stay healthy 100%, or as close to 100% as you can. Clearly, you can't predict certain things, but that's what I'd like to see. We keep rolling. Appreciate all you guys. Hot take, send Joc to the Dodgers and get Yates back. Wouldn't that be a trade? I don't think the Dodgers would do it, but that sure would be nice for Rangers fans, I think, at this point. I think a lot of Rangers fans would trade Yates for Joc 100%. And I like Joc. I really wish Joc would get it going. He's an easy guy to like, but bro has just been bad. Real bad since coming to Arlington. Super unfortunate. All right, y'all. Hey, appreciate all you guys hanging out on TikTok, man. We got a good crowd going tonight. Triple digits. I love it. Hey, if you haven't hit that follow button yet, hit that follow button, right? We're getting close to 10K. I hit 9K last night. Thanks to all y'all. Thanks to everybody. We hit 9K on TikTok last night. Cool milestone. We're trying to get to 10K. Hey, we hang out. We talk ball every night just like this. Clearly, you see the team on my chest. You see the flag in the background. You see the bobbleheads. We talk a little more Rangers than everything else. But I would love to keep growing this good group of people we got talking ball. A lot of good people on TikTok. A lot of good people on X and YouTube. Really, really appreciate you guys a lot. The journey to 10K continues. Getting pretty close to 2K on YouTube, I want to say. I think we're about 170 away from 2K. So TikTok, kind of the big one right now, but we're getting close on some of the other ones to some milestones as well, and you guys are a big part of that. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep rolling. What do we got? Exile Joc immediately. Preview for tomorrow's game we're going to do here in just a second. That is going to be coming up here in about 2 or 3 minutes. Let me close out the game for tonight, and then I'm going to get some more comments along the way. So Wyatt Langford, probably the offensive bright spot tonight. 3 hits for Wyatt. And then you had Kyle Higashioka, 2 bombs. Those 2 guys, the offensive bright spots in this one. Higgy, 3 hits. Just like Langford, 3 for 4, 2 bombs. 263 average, 719 OPS at this point. Josh Smith also had a couple hits as well. You felt like the Rangers weren't necessarily a Corey Seager away in this game from winning it. Just too many mistakes out in the field. That being said, you have Josh Smith at first base. You have Corey Seager at short. You just don't know how things change. I'd really like to see Bochy stop sitting Corey against lefties. We already have a weak enough lefty starter lineup. Let's not weaken it anymore. Sorry, sit Seager against a really bad right-hander at least we'll have Evan Carter. At least we'll have maybe Rowdy Tellez, maybe some other guys that don't normally get to play against the lefties in the lineup. And then bullpen-wise, let's close out on this note. Jon Gray, off night for him. 3 walks is kind of the biggest thing with Jon Gray. You walk 3 different people, man. You just can't do that. And we've talked enough about Jon Gray. Hopefully this game is an anomaly. If it's not, Rangers are in a little bit of trouble. Bosley has not looked good over the past couple of days. Dane Dunning, it's talking about Dane earlier, Dane Dunning versus Jon Gray. Would have loved to have kept Dane Dunning over Bosley. Like, Bosley has had his moments this year, but I would have loved to have kept Dane Dunning over Caleb Bosley. I'm not sure exactly what the thought process was there. I think Dane was a little bit more expensive, obviously making over $2 million. I think Boz is making less than $1 million at this point and probably has more options. But, man, I'd love to have Dane Dunning over Bosley right now, man. Armstrong, 2/3. He gives up. Didn't give up anything, actually. I thought he had a hit given up in there, but nope. Just 1 strikeout for him. Lowered the ERA under 3. Good for him. And that's about tonight's game, man. I don't think we need to dwell on it anymore. Y'all said it best. The Rangers out-hit the Angels 14-6 and lose. I don't know how many times that's happened. The Rangers out-hit the Angels 14-6 tonight and end up losing the ball game. 4 errors, 2 apiece by each team in this one. A lot of defensive oddities in this series. Let's go ahead and let it flush this one down the toilet, and let's get ready for tomorrow, man. I'll catch up with comments here in just a sec. Let me do the preview, and then before I end the show, I will check TikTok, we'll check YouTube and X for all remaining comments. So let's go to tomorrow. Evo Day, Evo on the bump. Hopefully closing out the series with a win, salvaging a game. By the way, you go to scores around the league. I know some of y'all were feeding me scores already in this one. The Guardians, they did win. They are still, I guess, very, very faintly hopeful of a playoff spot, even though they're starting to sell some pieces. They won 10-4 today. A few games behind the Rangers still. Yankees won today. They beat the Rays 7-5. Rays still behind the Rangers in the wild card chase, and Rays starting to sell some players slowly as well. Boston won today. They improved to 58-51 over the Twins. The Royals won today. They have a very small outside shot as well, 53-55. They beat the Braves. Braves are just in a tailspin, man. Feel bad for the Braves fan base. They are in a tailspin. Whew. Let's keep rolling. Astros did beat the Nationals 7-4 today, even up that series. Rubber match of that Astros-Nationals series coming up tomorrow. And then the Athletics, the A's, beat the Mariners. So we stay at least within a game or so of Seattle. That's good news. And beyond that, not a whole lot else to report. Orioles beat the Blue Jays twice today in a doubleheader. Kind of got my eye just briefly on the Blue Jays and what they're doing. Yankees and Blue Jays, they might end up going back and forth a little bit. Blue Jays got a few games of a lead still on the Yankees, but we'll see what happens there. You look at the standings right now as it sits in the wild card. Rangers currently a game behind Seattle. Just a game behind Seattle. It's effectively 2 games because Seattle has clinched the season series against Texas. So it's effectively a 2-game lead. But in the standings, you'll see 1. They are 1.5 games behind Boston. So actually right now, Boston is closer than Seattle. You know, you tie Seattle record-wise, they're going to get the clincher there because of the season series. So the Yankees, as of right now, 2.5 games up on the Rangers. So look, everything's still within reach right now. You're a game and a half. That's nothing. A game and a half behind the Red Sox. Got to win tomorrow, going into the trade deadline. Hopefully you get a righty bat. Slump insurance. That's what we've been calling it, slump insurance. You want that right-handed bat. So if you get Berger, who's coming back probably in a couple of weeks, if Berger comes back and is slumping, if Joc continues to slump, if you have somebody else in the lineup go cold, you've got slump insurance with a righty bat that you acquire at the trade deadline. Bullpen, I think we all can agree, needs help. It needs help. All right, let's do the preview. Blue Jays have lost 4 in a row, by the way. Orioles have won 5 in a row. Orioles are 7 games out, 5 in a row. They're selling, but it is kind of wild when some of these teams that are selling, like the Tigers did last year, right? Just come back from the dead. It happens like every single year. I wonder who it's going to be in the AL or NL race, a team that decides to sell and then lights it up down the stretch like the Tigers did last year. It feels like it happens every year. All right, tomorrow's game. Again, I know we've taken a little while to get there, but we're there now. Evo is on the bump. Evo with a 1.50 ERA. He has been incredible this season. 8-3, 1.50 ERA. Soriano on the bump for the Angels. He's 7-7 with a 3.79 ERA. You look at the matchups. Evo against the Angels. Joe Adell, 2 for 5. Campero, 0 for 3 against Nate Eovaldi, probable starter for Texas. By the way, another late game tomorrow night, no day game tomorrow. Angels don't like the day games on the last game of the series. Neto, 0 for 6. Newman, 0 for 1. Ohapi, 0 for 2. Rengifo, 2 for 12. Shanuel, 3 for 3. Look out for Shanuel tomorrow. Trout, looks like I'm going to go fast math here, y'all. 7 for 27. Wade Jr., 1 for 4. Taylor Ward, 3 for 17, 176 batting average. Travis d'Arnaud, 4 for 15. So Evo has managed this Angels lineup pretty well. No one's hit a home. Actually, Moncada has hit a home run off of Evo. That's the only guy. Moncada 1 for 3 with the bomb off Evo. Everybody else, no homers and pretty low averages. Really, Shanuel, d'Arnaud, and Moncada appear to be the guys to look out for. Joe Adell, a couple hits off Evo as well. Now on the other side, Soriano, the Angels pitcher. Evan Carter, 1 for 5 against Soriano, Angels probable starter. Adolis Garcia, 1 for 6. Jonah Heim, 1 for 7. Kyle Higashioka, 1 for 3. I think we'll see Higgy again tomorrow, especially after the hot hitting tonight. 100% Higgy is going to be in the lineup. Bochy, I think you guys have heard him say this. You hit a home run, you're in the lineup the next day. That's kind of Bochy's rule that he's joked about. So you'll probably see Higgy hitting higher up in the order tomorrow if I had to guess. Josh Young, 0 for 4 against Soriano. Wyatt Langford is 1 for 2, 2 RBI. Joc Pederson, 0 for 7. And we're probably going to see Joc tomorrow. But Joc is 0 for 7 in his career against Angel starter Soriano, probable starter for tomorrow. Corey Seager, 4 for 6 with a bomb. Corey Seager, 4 for 6 with a bomb against the Angels' probable starter tomorrow, Jose Soriano. It'll be good to have Siegs back in the lineup. Simeon, 2 for 8. Josh Smith, 1 for 5. Rowdy Tellez, 0 for 2. And there it is. Soriano, by the way, in his last 3 games, 6 innings, 2 earned runs against Seattle, 7 innings, 2 earned runs against Philadelphia, 5 innings, 1 earned run against Arizona. So Soriano's on a pretty good run right now. Some Rangers do have some pretty good success off of him, Corey Seager especially. But Soriano's been on a good streak of games. So it'll take some patience up at the plate, some good approaches to throw him off of his game. He's been pitching well of late. So we shall see. Might be a pitching duel. Evo with him on the mound. I think the Rangers break through, get a win tomorrow. It is going to be an interesting one, though, that's for sure. How is this team going to respond after 2 pretty bad losses? I am very, very curious, but I like our chances with Evo and with a number of guys in the lineup with past success off of Jose Soriano, the Angels' probable starter. Yeah, I think Angels probably haven't quite given up all hope yet, but still, I think the Angels are in a much worse spot than the Rangers are right now. I feel like Suarez, I don't know if you guys are talking about Suarez in YouTube. I feel like Suarez is a really long shot to end up with the Rangers. Maybe it's a possibility. What do you do with him, by the way? Because I know a lot of y'all, Josh Young, third base, right? You DH Eugenio Suarez. You DH him. I mean, maybe you can mix him in at third base too, but you figure that stuff out later, man. Just go get offense. Figure out the position stuff later. Just go get offense. They need a right-handed bat. I think Suarez probably is going to be a long shot. I think they've got a better shot at a couple other righty bats, but that'd be nice. You got to feel pretty good if the Rangers go make a big splash like that to go get Eugenio Suarez for sure. Repost a comment, by the way, in YouTube. Repost if I missed something, all right? Rosario and Duran for Yandy and Peter Fairbanks. Slight overpay by Texas on MLB trade value. Rays would love Rosario. If they want to do that deal, I would probably take it. Rosario obviously is one of the top prospects in the organization, but to get Yandy Diaz and Fairbanks, Ethan, does Fairbanks have years left? Does Fairbanks have a couple years left of control? Willie Castro, I'm out on Willie Castro, Jack, but I do like Griffin Jacks. We did Willie Castro advanced stats, and I was not impressed. But Griffin Jacks I would take for sure. Ethan, let me know how many years does Fairbanks have left? All right, let me keep going. Let me get TikTok too here. Keep rolling. What's the likelihood Joc is in the lineup tomorrow? Ben, very high. Very high. I think, honestly, in all truthfulness, I think they want to give Joc opportunities to either succeed or to fail. It doesn't do any good to hide Joc right now. I think they're going to put him in the lineup and sink or swim, buddy. And if it's sink, they'll get him out of the lineup. But I think at this point, you have to give Joc Pederson opportunities. And if he does not make it out of this week with some good games under his belt, I think then you have the evidence to say, we got to go a slightly different direction here. Year of control left. Okay, so we've got half a season plus a year of control for Fairbanks. That plays. I think Diaz is like 2 or 3 years. That would be phenomenal. If we could get Fairbanks and Diaz, that would be awesome. Yeah, look, well put. You've got to give Joc Pederson the opportunity, as weird as it sounds, to fail. You can't hide him on the bench and, plug him in every second or third day. You've got to just give him this week. If he fails, if he falls flat on his face, he does. And then you've got the evidence to say, bro, it's not working out. We need to bench you. We need to go with somebody else at the DH spot. We'll get you in here and there where we can, but you need to ride the pine pony. Club option for next year. Okay. Corbin needs to stay. Yeah, I do think Corbin probably does hang on here. I think they would like to have Patrick Corbin as a Game 4 starter in a playoff series. I know I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I think they'd like to have Corbin as a Game 4 starter. So I think they'll hold on to him. Yep, totally right-handed bat, Zach, 100%. Do not want to see us acquire a lefty. I know Ryan O'Hearn, the first base help. I think we've got guys that can play first base. Josh Smith can play first if you have to. You're still hoping Jake Berger comes around. I don't want to see the Rangers go get another lefty. Appreciate you. Hey, and appreciate all of my paid subscribers and paid members on YouTube and TikTok. It's about the only thing I've monetized on the account, on the channel. Just a little extra way you can support me and the content that I'm producing here at Ride on Rangers. $2.99 a month gets you into our exclusive Ride on Rangers Discord, which has been awesome. It's a great community of people. I'll drop the link for all my people on YouTube and X. If you're on TikTok, bottom left corner right next to the chat. Real small subscribe button. Appreciate you considering it. Totally optional. Pretty much everything I do on the show is free. But if you want to support me, take your support to the next level. Thanks for considering that. I think it'll be well worth the money. That's what I've heard at least. But anyways, thank you for the support that you guys give to the channel in so many other ways as well. Likes, follows, shares. It's awesome. And we don't take anything for granted here. Link is in the chat for anybody on YouTube or on X. We'll get last-second comments here, and then we're going to hit the road. Give us back to Grom. Sorry, man. Finders keepers. Finders keepers. Oh, shoot. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll have a reel probably drop in at some point in the morning, maybe late tonight if I can finish it. Working on a couple of different things, so I'm excited for you guys to see that. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8th inning, 9th inning, maybe in the 7th inning. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the game's doing, but that's the plan for right now. Definitely, Adolis can be really, really frustrating. You love him, but then you straight up get disappointed at times. He's a very streaky hitter. Very, very streaky hitter. I thought it was 31st. I thought it was 31st, like 4 p.m. Central Time, Ethan. I think it's the 31st. Rohan, sorry, man. Good to see you, though. Yeah, we've been going an hour and a half already, so we're going to take off. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate the support. Not our best night tonight. Rangers lose 8-5. But game tomorrow, Evo on the bump. Chance to salvage a game in the series before we head off to Seattle. That's the plan. Hey, Carlos, enjoy that series win, man. Hopefully we can get one from you guys tomorrow. But come hang out again. Come hang out again tomorrow evening. Again, 8th inning, maybe 7th inning, we'll be live again. And as I always say, to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.